Well,
Man!
we are back again, guys, and we are here for the, well, I wouldn't say the grand finals, but the finals of the winners bracket here. We have been witnessing a lot of matches. We did get to see something like an Atosis play, where I think Zeys, he played the Leopard Gnome as that final card. If he killed it, he would have died. If he didn't kill it, he would have died either way, so that was actually really unfortunate for him.
He ended up putting up a Comparian and killed himself.
Exactly, so it's kind of interesting to see that this kind of stuff happens in this game so far. And you know what? What's really interesting here is the fact that Kero, in the match that we just witnessed, I mean, he went really mad with that Shaman play, and the Warrior, oh man, don't get me started. That needs a highlight of its own. A 10 mana turn in one kill against a full life.
Let me just say this. The Molten Giant dream is alive, people!
It is alive indeed. Guys, let's jump into this game as we are looking at Zeys versus Kero here. I guess you could say arguably the top two players right now in this Hearthstone tournament.
Let me check and let me go over the stats real quick right now.
Alright, let's take a quick look at the stats here. I think
Zeys is at 92%. Wow.
Wow. So Zeys has 92% win rate, and a lot of it is because of his Warlock has been getting that screen time and hasn't lost a single game. And Kero, on the other hand, though, he's
76%.
Yeah, he's gone 10-3. So let's take a quick look here before these players get right into it. Zeys, on his side, he does have a Shattered Sun Cleric, a Shadow Flame, and a Blood Imp. I'm not sure if he's gonna mulligan anything here. What do you think?
Definitely Shadow Flame, man. The Shadow Flame this early and this low attack without a power overwhelming is basically a dead card.
Right, and as for Kero, he's actually gonna mulligan everything right there.
Well, I sort of agree with that.
Yeah, he's gonna get a Hex, a Stormforge Hex, and a Lightning Bolt, and an Izu Drake. So that's gonna be a, it's kind of a okay-ish start. Well, not really an okay starting hand. It really depends on his draw. Looking at this though, there is that Flame Imp and Blood Imp already
that dream
available.
starting hand.
Yeah, and that Argent Squire as well. So he's gonna be able to play both those minions in turn 2.
Yep, but here, are we gonna see a coin to Stormforge Axe?
That could be a possibility, but that just means, Kero is very well known for not worrying too much about getting overloaded on his mana crystals. Apparently, I mean, he does a really good job of balancing his mana crystals and utilizing a lot of the spells, even though he used a lot of overload charges in the previous round.
Oh, there we go. That's an Arcane Golem.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Arcane?
Yep, Arcane Golem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's going to be pretty insane. Are we going to be able to see that turn 6 kill again with that Arcane Golem?
It's like, oh, rip.
Yeah.
Rip Blood Imp.
That's a little unfortunate for the Blood Imp, and he's going to, in fact, run it in right there with the Stormforge Axe, only taking 2 damage. And right now,
looking at Zeys, right? Playing the Arcane Golem might not be such a bad play because Kero is going to be overloaded for 2 next turn. That means he only has 1 mana to deal with.
Yeah, actually, that's quite a good point you do bring up over there. But I think he's just a little bit afraid right now that he might be able to, shock him or something like that with the 1 mana cost cards there. So I guess he's a little bit afraid of that. In this kind of situation, would you just play the Tink Master Overspark or just skip your turn? I mean, like, tap into a skip.
Well, evidently you still can play a Dark Iron Draw, which is 4 mana 4/4. Won't die to anything much. Not the best play, but wouldn't be such a bad play.
Right, for sure. As you see right now, Kero, though, on his hand, he's actually going to go ahead and throw out that Flame Tongue Totem on top of the Healing Totem. Yeah, so unfortunately he didn't get that 1/1, that Searing Totem, which is also good. In this situation here, though, he has an opportunity. I mean, like, he can try to Tink Master Overspark that Totem, which is kind of an insane play, though, which is very much unnecessary here. Would you say that just playing the 4-drop would be the better choice? I mean, the thing is, he has to buff a creep, though. So I guess going for the Shattered Sun would be here a better choice here, or?
Well, Shattered Sun dies to a free mob, which is evidently the Healing Totem right now. Yep. Even the Axe, so maybe a Leopard Gnome?
Yeah, he's actually going to go with the Arcane Golem, so you're going to go ahead and charge right into this Flame Tongue.
Well, you can take off the 2 damage, but still going to die to the Stormforge Axe.
Yeah, which is kind of a waste in my opinion, but he does have the Fire Elemental.
That's one of the worst case scenario right there.
Yeah, unfortunately he doesn't have that charge ability anymore, and the fact that he gave him an extra mana over there, so he actually, the guy that had the coin is now ahead of you, and he has, I mean, he doesn't have as much cards as Zeys has right now, but Zeys has a lot of buffing creatures right here that can actually play. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the mana conserve for that.
I mean, even then, both of these creatures still dies with a Stormforge Axe.
Yeah, that Stormforge Axe is doing a lot of work. I mean, it's been there for the longest time, and that is probably one of the reasons why he only runs one in his deck. I guess he feels like he's done the math. He knows that just one is more than enough because the durability is really high.
Second Fire Elemental. Major board presence right there.
Yeah, that's actually very scary for Zeys right here. Zeys actually might lose to this Shaman deck. I mean, this is pretty insane.
And with Zeys, without having a charger, things are looking pretty grim here.
Yeah, I mean, in this kind of situation with, I guess defend of the Argus, I would have thought he would have gone for Dark Iron, but I guess that's not the best play here.
That's not the best play.
Yeah, I mean, he can always use the Dark Iron later on for that 3/3 and just kill off, something like the Fire Elementals and still have a 4/4 there.
Even then, there we go. There's the Azure Drake.
Ooh.
Lightning bot to the Arcane Golem.
Oh, the Fork Lightning though.
Nah, don't be greedy.
Is he gonna do it?
That's way too greedy,
Is he
bro.
gonna try it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
safe and leave it at 1 HP. Can't even tap.
Yeah, this is a major problem now because look at that. Left with 1 HP and he's
board
dead.
clear.
Oh, I mean, well, pretty much is. I don't want to call anything just yet, but looking at his hand right here, I think it's pretty much GG. Could even just suicide himself with that Flame Imp.
You can't even live tap right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, he can't live tap. He can't kill the creatures on the board. And yeah, it's pretty much well played. I can't believe it, but this is gonna be the first time that we're gonna see Zeys lose on his Warlock deck. That's pretty insane.
On his aggro lock.
I mean, this Shaman is actually doing a lot of work, I have to say. I mean, Kero drafting up the Shaman deck is doing a hefty amount of work for him in this tournament so far. I mean, I think he hasn't lost a single game with the Shaman just yet. No,
really?
He did lose a game earlier on in the group stages, I do believe, but I think that was because he had really bad card draws. And I think his deck was the only one that is running a Malagos in it.
Yes, the one with the Malagos.
And,
1 mana, 19 damage, and 18 damage play.
Wow, that was just insane. That was insane plays actually by Kero over there. So Kero actually going to be able to destroy that secret weapon from Zeys over there with that Warlock, that rush down Warlock kind of play. So you do see that Zeys is actually going to go for Rogue here. And do you think he's going to have a better chance or a better shot at this against the Shaman deck that Kero has?
Well, looking at Zeys Rogue, right, he does have a lot more board clear, a lot more control cards than his Warlock. Having Backstab, Deadly Poison, Hero Ability, Betrayal, Blade Fury, Eviscerate and whatnot. So it is more stable against a type of deck like this, but evidently his deck is still dependent on Rush.
Right.
And looking at how Kero play his Shaman deck, he's gonna run out of steam.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyways, let's take a quick look at the starting hands here. Zeys side, he does have of course the coin. He does have both his SI agents, which is really good. A Betrayal.
A Betrayal. His only Betrayal.
Yeah. Oh, there's only Betrayal in the deck.
His only Betrayal.
He does have at least that card draw as well as the Backstab here. And that's really good for him. But looking at the hand of Kero, he does have that. He's going to actually, use a hero power there. And that's going to be the taunt. He does have Ragnos already. He still doesn't have much early game. He does have the Feral Spirits, but it seems like he's just going to opt not to go for it just yet.
Yep.
Why do you think he's actually doing that?
Kero?
Yeah.
Well, looking at his hand, he doesn't have much choice in creatures ability, and he doesn't want to get overloaded on turn 4. So, having to play the second, having to use hero ability on turn 3 the second time is unfortunate, but it has to be done.
Yeah, and you can see right here, Backstab actually going to be used, and SI Agent comes out, killing the totem. That's now effectively a 3/3 on the board and a 1/2. And unfortunately, this time around, Kero not getting early draws of those, lightning bolts and storms and all those lightning zap, laser pew beams. He does at least top deck a Manatite totem here.
Right now, Feral Spirit will be his best player, I guess, but no, instead opting to go for a totem.
Oh, and he gets lucky there. In fact, maybe he's actually opting for the taunt, but he gets a Searing Totem here. The Eviscerate is now in the inventory there. Not inventory, so I keep saying inventory. The hand there for Zeys. He does even have the coin here.
He's got
probably
coin, Azure Drake?
Azure Drake, yeah. So he's gonna have the Azure Drake here, and that just means he's gonna be able to do a lot more damage with that Eviscerate. Blade Fury as well is gonna be something that's really scary against this, this deck of Keros where he doesn't even have any mobs just yet. He does eventually throws out the 4/4 over there. Ragnar is actually gonna be inside the deck.
Unfortunately, there's Argent Squire and Eviscerate to deal with that.
Yeah, so I don't think trading here is it that necessary?
No,
I mean, he could actually just use an Eviscerate and whack the 1/1 in, right?
I guess, but you're still gonna play the Iron Square no matter what.
Yeah, so might as well. Yeah, I guess the Argent. Yeah, he's gonna go to Argent Square. Gonna use that Eviscerate on that the spell damage to Drake. Yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure he knows by now that all spell damage that Kero has is very, very lethal, and he do not want to keep that on the board, especially against Kero and his current deck lineup.
Definitely.
So right now, I mean, like, Zeys is in a really good spot. He has a lot of good creatures on the board. Board control is in his favor, and also the fact that Kero doesn't have much in terms of
creature selections.
Yeah, and as well as board wipes. He doesn't have his lightning storms. He doesn't have all this kind of mumbo jumbo. So he's actually in a really, really good spot this time around with his rogue.
Okay, so he's probably going to play the Fire Elemental and ping off the SI7 agent, but even then, he's still going to die. The Fire Elemental is not going to do much right here. He's still going to die fairly easily.
Yeah, I mean, he can always trade the 4/4, or he could even just, play something else. I guess there is the Tickmaster Overspark you could try for a 1/1, but
Tickmaster is fine. I mean, even if it gets a 5/5, you can still Eviscerate and trade it off with a 1/1.
That is true. I mean, he does have that spell damage on the board. That is a possibility there. At the turn 7, though, unfortunately, most of his cards are actually combo based. With that SI Agent, the Eviscerate, and Betrayal is a possibility. But the thing is, there's not much minions on the board. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a backstab. He used one already. He still has another one in his deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Or he could do something crazy here. He could attack with both of the 1/1 to the face. Then Tinker Overspark one of the 1/1 and see what you get. Since Eviscerate with spell power is enough to take down a 6/5.
Yeah, actually that is pretty much a good choice here. Yeah, actually, like, just running in his Novice as well as the Argent Squire and then killing it off with Eviscerate and then that Tickmaster Overspark onto the Squire could actually prove to be... I mean, if you get a 1/1 Squirrel, yeah, it's unfortunate. But if you get the 5/5, that's the dream.
Yep, that's the dream.
So it seems like, he's actually going to go for the face over here and just Eviscerate into that. He does have the ability to SI Agent here, but I don't think he's going to use it. He does. Oh, he's actually going to go ahead and quickly burn him down. Yeah, he's making sure that the Shaman is not going to be able to live long enough to play most of his combo, and this is actually quite lethal for him because look at his hand. He doesn't have a lot of presence here. I mean, he does have his Feral Wolves. That's going to be a taunt. The thing is,
does he double Feral Wolf? Oh
yeah,
my God! Double Feral Wolf.
He's going to silence and kill off that Argent Squire at least. But in this kind of situation, he's still can kind of get back in this game, I believe.
Alright. A Deadly Poison will screw him over so bad.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't top that Deadly Poison, unfortunately, so Blade Fury is going to be unfortunately useless. But there is still that Betrayal.
Yes, Betrayal combo with Blade Fury does work to kill off 2 of them.
Yep. And then he can just run in his mobs and they'll still survive, so actually...
And it's still a board clear.
Yeah, so that actually wouldn't be the worst decision. Or... Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and just effectively trade here. I mean, Betrayal is probably the better choice. He's taking a little bit of time to decide what he wants to do. But of course, he just wants to make sure that what is the turn that's gonna happen after that. I think he's definitely planning ahead right now. What he wants to go for. He's gonna go ahead with the Betrayal here, and that's probably the better choice. And of course, like you mentioned earlier, the Blade Fury to quickly finish off most of the minions.
And you still can play a Net Pale.
Yeah, exactly, and hopefully...
a Net Pagel.
Yeah, and hopefully it can fish out some cards, man, because what do we love in this game?
Salmon cards.
Salmon cards, indeed. Here we go. That Betrayal still deciding. I guess he's a little bit afraid here. Maybe he wants to use the Betrayal on both the Goldens. He's going to go ahead and trade one already, so that's now a 3-1 there.
Well, doing trade like this, right, you're sacrificing a lot of cards for something that is not that huge to deal with, evidently. But it is necessary somewhat. I mean,
And-
doing this, he's actually losing card advantage.
Right, but the thing is, at the same time, he knows that the Overload's gonna kill Kero on this next turn, so I guess he's not that afraid.
Well, at this point, right, Kero hasn't drawn any Lightning Storm yet, and and even if he does, right, he still has mana to play the Mana Storm, the Lightning Storm.
Yeah. It's only effectively 1 mana, right?
It's 3 mana.
3 mana, okay, alright. So, it seems like Ragnaros is an option after this. If Netpigel gets silenced here or hexed, he can actually use that Tickmaster Overspark to kind of get back his value, which is actually a pretty
There we go.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and hex this out. So we're gonna see a golden 0-1 frog now.
Well,
that is pretty amazing. Well,
That's game, set, and
yeah,
match.
that's game. Out comes the Ragnaros. Boom goes the dynamite, and out comes the -2 Pyroblast.
Well
to the
done,
face.
Zeys.
Yep, Zeys gonna be able to get back into this game, actually into the series, getting that 1 game added on against Kero, so at least he's gonna be less worryful of that Shaman, which is actually a very pesky, but now here's
A
the
very
thing.
powerful Shaman.
The Warrior is gonna be so scary, because a Rogue against a Warrior, I think I'm gonna have to go with the favor with the Warrior. With the amount of charges he has, and the crazy Molten Giants, it could actually be very, very scary.
Well, here's the thing. The Warrior works fine with aggro rogues, but only if he gets the perfect hand.
Exactly, and speaking of which,
He
Kero
went for
here,
the
he's gonna go
Warlock.
for the Warlock, and this is something that we were talking about a little bit before. In that sense, it's more of like that rush deck, that Murlocky Warlock rush deck, that Warlock, I guess you could say.
Murloc.
Warlock? Yeah, whatever. Guys, anyways, just take a quick look at the starting hand here. Voidwalker, Leopard Gnome, and Mortal Coil are gonna be in the hand for Kero. As for Zeys, he has that SI agent. The Novice Engineer definitely shouldn't take that away, because that's always very good. Napigel, maybe he can leave it, or just mulligan it for something else. Eviscerate, I guess at this point in time, is not as useful.
It's actually quite useful at this time because, as nature of how aggro warlocks are, with all the buffs that you can buff up with minions, actually having that early board clear, having that early control card helps a lot.
Alright, okay, so it seems like Napigel may be the only choice to mulligan here in this kind of situation. I think both players just waiting a little bit for this, and it seems like we are going to be ready to get into this game number 3, guys. And this is, of course, the best of 5 series. It is
Winners
Kero.
Brackets Final.
Yeah, Winners Brackets Finals. Kero versus Zeys. And here we go. We get the mulligan out, and he gets a very nice curve, actually.
There is a very nice curve.
And with a coin, so it makes things a lot more easier for him. Out comes the taunt, though. A raid leader already to start things off, on top of the Leopard Gnome and the Mortal Coil, sorry.
Yep.
If he wants to do that. So not gonna coin into a Novice Engineer here. He's gonna go ahead and call out the Murloc there. And that actually is pretty dangerous. He should probably get rid of that card very, very soon, because if more Morlocks start coming on his board, it's gonna be pretty
Well,
much
there we go. Coin the SI7 agent, Rip Murloc.
Oh, there we go. Yep, that's actually a very good play. Goodbye, Murloc. That's a 3/3. I mean, he can still effectively trade for it, but I don't think he wants to. Probably just gonna go for the face. Might even actually just run his Leopard Gnome inside it.
And Mortal Call, definitely.
Yeah, he does have the Mortal Coil, so that's also a good sign of life.
He could just Raid Leader.
Yeah, actually, Raid Leader would be the better choice. Oh,
Yeah, but he needs the card draw.
Yep, so he's gonna get the extra card here. He can actually play Leopard Gnome if he wants,
Oh,
but he has
Alpha
the
Wolf.
Alpha Wolf, and he's gonna be playing that right now because he knows there really isn't nothing much that Zeys can do. But of course, Zeys has to Eviscerate, but the thing is, why are you gonna use an Eviscerate on a Direwolf? You know, that doggy,
Yep.
much skill.
So doggy.
You missed that one, bro, but never mind, we'll get it better. Anyways, the Leopard Gnome is gonna in fact come out on top of Raid Leader. Look at that amount of damage.
Oh my god, that's
He's
scary,
gonna,
man.
Look at that, man. Zeys is taking so much damage. 19 damage to the face already.
On fourth turn.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's a Serving Gaze.
Well, the betrayal here, of course, you always have to remember your positioning on your minions. The best thing here is at least he leaves both those strong minions on the board, but the problem is there is that Harvest Golem that can always potentially deal with that, and he always has the Eviscerate to utilize, unless he wants to just coin, or not coin, sorry, I mean Dagger and
Novice.
or just
Novice should do, because
yeah.
Dagger doesn't kill much. Doesn't
Yeah,
kill
I guess.
anything at all.
In fact, yeah. So Novice is probably gonna be.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about eviscerating that doggy.
Yeah, that doggy, because you know the longer the doggy stays on the board, the more damage is gonna happen. So you know, more dog.
What? He's gonna pass?
Wow. So he's gonna pass and bring out the weapons there. Look at this though, Cold Light Seer and a Blue Gale Warrior. He's gonna go ahead and Blue Gale and then a Cold.
And then the Cold Light?
Yeah. So he's gonna give all his other Murlocs 2 HP. So. Again, rushing him down really quickly, that's the main aim of the game, and it's getting to a very, very scary point in time. He might actually just Deadly Poison and defy us here. That is definitely a possibility, but what do you think he should go for?
At least eviscerate to kill one of the others.
Alright, so, I mean, if he doesn't, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's actually going to go ahead with that. The Defiance does come out, so get out of town, scrub!
Yeah, beat it!
There we go. The Eviscerate is going to probably be propped here, unless he wants to go for a card draw, because he always has a 3-1 in his stash to use.
Against an aggro lock, you definitely doesn't want to do that.
Yeah,
you're taking too huge of a risk here.
Yeah, there you go. You see the Eviscerate coming out onto the board. The scrubs are there as well. There's a lot of buff potential, and of course another card draw. And look at this. Now Kero is in a really tight situation now because he only has a Loot Hoarder and a Murloc there, a 2-1, which he can actually trade for himself if he wants to. But I don't think he wants to take any more damage. He does actually get a backstab here, so that's really good for him. He should probably use that against the Murloc. We're actually going to use it on the Loot Hoarder, so they're going to go ahead and run his 2-1 into the 2-1 of the Warlock there. Gonna buff up. Look at that. That's a 2-cost mana card, and it's gonna deal 4 damage to his face. An Arching Commander on top of that. That's a very good card right now.
But Zeys here isn't actually in a very good spot, to be honest. Since for an aggro rogue, for you to go control, right, you got to sacrifice a lot of your minions to do so. And for a Warlock who has 22 health, capable of constant card draw, and a rogue on 10 health, it's still very risky. It's like playing on thin ice.
Yeah,
and
indeed.
Like that, look at that Panther, man. You can't do anything about that Panther.
Yeah, but you see right now, Zeys might actually win this in the bag because Ragnaros is going to be coming out in the next turn, and if that Panther shows its face, now okay, there's a lot of things here you can do. There's a lot of minions. He's going to probably play everything. Yeah, out comes the Taunt, out comes the Loot Hoarder, the Murloc Tidecaller, as well as the Grimscale Oracle. So that's a lot. He's going to go for face here. Now here's the problem. He's going to kill the Taunt. He can still kill him, and it's a well played because there's really no way he's going to win. That is going to do it, guys. I mean,
game, set, and match.
Game, set, and none. That's Zeys rogue for you. He won with his rogue over there. How many games? That's the final.
That's 2-1.
That's okay. Yeah, the 2-1. Yeah, so
potentially last game here.
Yeah, so Kero, of course, he lost out on the Shaman. He lost out on his Warlock. Now the problem is, are we gonna see that godlike and godly dream, the 10 mana cost dream? That would be pretty much insane.
Are we gonna see the Molten Giant dream here?
Only time will tell. Look at this. Right now, just take a quick look at the screens here. We do have a Novice Engineer Defias and as well as another Novice. I guess stacking too many 2-mana drops is not going to be as useful here. Zeys, it seems like he wants to mulligan this. What do you think of that?
Yeah, definitely a good choice to mulligan the second Novice Engineer.
Right.
Because even if you play a second Novice Engineer on turn 3, it's not going to present much of a board presence.
Right, and as for Kero's hand though, do you think he should actually keep this? Okay, here's the thing. He actually kept this hand, somewhat like a hand like this, and was able to completely remove every single board creep that was placed and still win the game because he was taking a lot of damage.
Okay, look at this. A Whirlwind against a Paladin, against a Shaman is okay. A Whirlwind against a Rogue is excellent.
It's excellent indeed. There's a lot of 2-1 drops, 1 drops, early game mobs.
But he's gonna mulligan it into a Molten Giant.
Wow, okay, so he has that one Molten Giant already.
That's half the combo, guys.
Yep, he has Shield Block in fact even as well for this early game where he doesn't have much of minions to play. So it seems like he's just gonna go ahead and end the turn, and I do believe a Novice Engineer is gonna come out here. More card draw, always the better choice. Yep. He's gonna get a Golden Azure Drake actually over here.
That's actually pretty funny, a Golden Azure Drake.
Yeah, I mean, the effects unfortunately is not that. I actually thought it would be a little bit cool. I mean, yeah, it's like the laser, well, not really laser, like the
Going some more flares.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately now there's no minion on the board for him to actually clear this, so backstab won't be able to be used with the Defias. He's gonna go ahead and just use that that Harvest Golem. Of course, the next turn he can always use his hero power. And well, not
Deadly Poison.
Deadly Poison. That could be a possibility. The coin is gonna be used here, and the charge actually.
Yep. Into a backstab and Defias Ringleader.
Yeah, Defias would actually be a better choice here. Defias is going to be a lot more helpful for his board control as well. Are we going to see the backstab? I mean, he can effectively trade the Novice for that. That's going to be such a good trade. Or maybe even just backface.
What?
Wow,
oh,
okay,
he's gonna trade the Golem for it.
So either ways, it's still a very good play. He does get a fresh 2-1 there. And now it just means it's harder, a little bit harder now, but here's
he is
the thing.
going for the safer play here. He doesn't want to lose too much health too fast.
Yeah, here's the thing though. There's a cleave on board. It is probably gonna kill huge creatures here. Of course, it's random. Is it gonna hit?
Oh,
unfortunately, RNG God's not in his favor. Hits the 2-1 instead. So kind of a waste there. Well, not
it's
really
not
a waste.
bad, but it's not the best.
Yeah, it's not the best RNG you could get.
Yep.
Look at that. The Novice gets a good trade, and right
here comes
now,
the Azure Drake.
Yep, the Azure Drake. He gets another card draw. It's a Dark Iron Dwarf.
Oh my
and that
god.
is very, very scary. There is an Execute in his inventory. Well, not. I keep saying inventory. My god, in his hand. But he's just gonna go ahead for another card draw. He gets the Fury War Axe at least, so that is pretty good for him. Now, I probably think he's trying to burn himself. But
draw off the Novice Engineer, trade it for the Drake, and then Defias Ringleader. To have to still maintain a very strong board presence.
Yeah, actually, that's a very, very good play indeed. Yeah, and you are, as like you said, very, very true in that sense. He's gonna go ahead, hit face. Is he gonna play the Defias Ringleader? No, he's actually gonna go for power here.
Actually, that's not bad. Seeing he's looking at his hand that he has a Deadly Poison.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit afraid of things like a brawl, which might actually screw up his board.
Well, it's like even if the warrior brawls, right, it's not like he's gonna cast a lot of minions up. I mean, brawl does cost 5 mana to play.
Right. Yeah.
And even if you have a board full of minions, you're still gonna be left with 1 minion. It's not all that bad.
Yeah. So actually, we saw right there, Kero actually using the Inner Rage onto that Azure Drake and then finishing it off with his
Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, Fairy War Axe. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to use that for a second time. The Defias, here we go again. This is our town, scrub.
Yeah, beat it. Are you gonna see in the second one?
Oh, that could actually be a possibility here. There is also the possibility that he could Deadly Poison and just aim for face, can quickly burn him down. The Molten Giant is slowly coming into play here though. Are we gonna see Defias Ringleader? I guess he's a little bit afraid of
He's
throwing
a little bit reluctant on playing everything out.
Yeah. Which in my opinion, I guess he doesn't need to be that worried too much, because I think he used up his only Kobold, if I'm not mistaken, for Kero, that is.
Oh, really?
He has one Kobold Geomancer, and so the fact that he doesn't have the combo with the Whirlwind, it's only going to deal 1 damage, and that's not much of a...
And look at that,
there.
the combo is almost complete!
Oh, that combo is there. He has the War Song, he has the double Molten Giants. This is very, very scary right now. It's getting a little bit risky here. I think Zeys needs to quickly play his spells and burn him down as soon as possible. If not, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
A Defender of Argus will work here. It will stop a lot of damage going in.
That's actually very true, and in fact gonna buff him up a lot, but it seems like he's gonna go for a different approach here. He might actually just want to Sylvanas, maybe?
The ex-wife?
The ex-wife will do a lot of damage, guys. It's a pretty scary
Are
card.
we gonna see the ex-wife here, guys?
Oh my god, is the ex-wife gonna come out? Is it? Or is the end turn gonna be the final play for Zeys?
Well, looking at how he's been playing lately, right, this match, I said Defias, Defender of Others would be the best play for his playstyle, because he's trying to go safe here. He doesn't want to get rushed down by the Molten Giant Dream.
Right, yeah, exactly. Molten Giants is actually very, very close by. If he hits him in this next turn, he's probably just gonna wait it out and, you know, put a little bit of armor on himself. He still has that, oh, he actually used the armor block already.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, he's not going to have that to work with. I would have actually liked to see him keep that later. So, a little bit unfortunate on that
But
end.
he kind of needed a card draw, I guess.
Yeah,
Whoa,
so
there we go.
So, Defias Ringleader is in fact going to come out. He knows that even if he gets him down to more than enough health for 0 mana cost Molten Giants, he still won't have enough mana for the Dream. Well, actually, he will. I think.
He's lacking one panda actually.
Yeah, he's lacking one panda, which is kind of the issue. But the rogue is down.
Oh my god, the
126.
bot clear! Look at that bot clear.
But yeah, that value there is gonna be so good for him. Look at that. Now he doesn't need to do anything. He's just waiting for him to hit his face. There is that 3 damage on the dagger. Zeys is in a tough situation right now because what can he do? I mean, he can play Savannah still, but it seems like he wants to go for the SI Asian and not even get the added extra damage. I guess this is because he doesn't want to get run into a Molten Giant.
Well, that's quite questionable to be honest. I would have played the Sylvanas Renana along with SI Agent to get the damage done.
I mean, yeah, I guess they're still outrange. He doesn't have a weapon. That's also another cause for concern there.
I mean, if he has a weapon, he would have played it a long time ago.
Exactly. So it seems the conservative playstyle coming out from Zeys over here in this game seems to be hurting him or affecting him a little bit too much.
Yep.
For his liking. I mean, he by all means can still win this game, but the combo, the 10 mana dream, or not even 10 mana, it's a 7 mana dream, is still shaping up very, very nicely for Kero here. Kero's in a really good spot. He's gonna go ahead and execute this.
Wow.
That Inner Rage execute and a Raging Worgen. Wow, he is in a lot of trouble here. He definitely needs to hit the Worgen.
Well, he can kill the Worgen for free.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's also
but
true.
the next best thing to play here.
Yeah, he does get a top deck of Spell Mage Thalanos, and it is in fact going to do 3 damage, so that's pretty good for him. Now, the question is, does he run the Sylvanas Windrunner?
Well, in my opinion, he's playing it too safe for his own good.
Right.
He's sacrificing a lot of board presence for the fact that he doesn't want to get rushed down.
Yeah.
In fact, that if he would have played it 1 to 2 turns earlier, he would have won the game already.
Yeah, actually, that's very true. I mean, like, there was a lot of opportunities for him to get his minions on the board. Now, here's the thing, though. There is another Worgen. He's probably just going to play the Worgen again and maybe even Armor.
Okay.
Oh, so not Armor, I'm sorry.
Time to do some math. Let's see. It's 3 mana. It's 2 mana. 2 mana is 7 mana. And you can UFO, but you can't play the other Molten Giant.
Yeah, so I think he's just still going to wait for that added extra damage. But here's the problem, though. How much more damage can he take? Like this, Sylvanas is going to do a lot of work. He can probably even trade with this Worgen and make sure that he doesn't have any more board presence here. There is still that 3-1 dagger of his, which you can by all means just rush into the Worgen. But that would just mean that he lowers his HP a little bit. But of course, the Defender of Argus is there as a saving grace. He's actually
Oh
gonna,
my god!
Oh god, this value is pretty insane. So he's gonna he's gonna go for the rush down right now. Now here's the question. What is he going to do? I mean, he can by all means just kill off the...
Betrayal, definitely betrayal.
Betrayal is also a very good cause for concern here.
He's going to betrayal to the Molten Giant and then sacrifice the Windrunner. That will be the best play.
Alright, so the thing is now, how is he going to be able... Okay, so... Oh, alright. So on this end...
And that end...
Yeah, it's a little bit different. So, but of course, for sure here, the Molten Giant is going to be dead. After... Wait.
Which one is the real one?
Which is the real one? Yeah, actually, I'm a little bit confused myself now. The Betrayal is coming out. Is this the correct one? It seems like it isn't, though. This Betrayal is actually going to kill the Worgen. It's going to screw things up a lot more. Oh, okay.
Right.
It's in the middle. So that's the real one. He's going to lose Sylvanas, but he will get a 8/8, and that's really good. On top of the Defender of Argus, so that means now the Dream is alive.
Yep. And it's going to buff him up and Defender of Argus. Good
so
call
here we
right
go.
there.
11 damage. That is probably going to be the game in the next turn. There is nothing he can do here. There is no taunt. What is he going to do? A UFO Brewmaster, but that's about it. That's it. Well played. That's GG. Zeys, he does come back. He avoids the 10 mana cost. One-shot death right there. And he's going to win the finals here for the winners bracket.
3-1 Zeys.
3-1 Zeys, man. That is what a way to win. Guys, I gotta say that today, as a whole, it's been a very, very entertaining full day. I think we've been here for
14 hours.
About 14 hours. We've been casting a lot for today. A lot of matches. We're seeing a lot of very interesting matches as well. Very clutch moments, very close moments. I think a couple of them was even with the Leroy Jenkins.
A lot of crazy combos.
Yeah, the crazy combos. We saw that beautiful 10 mana cost into that direct kill at the 30 HP. And we also saw Zeys coming back into that and avoiding that.
Yep.
So really well played by him. He wins that with his rogue. So I mean, his rogue sometimes loses a lot. His Warlock hasn't lost a single game eventually until the Shaman of Kero's over there.
Yep.
But of course, at the same time, he still did win with his rogue against that warrior. And that turn 10.
He did redeem himself.
He did redeem himself, and that's very, very true. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed our coverage here today and enjoyed our casting. We try our best to do as much coverage as possible. Of course, we are here together. This is my co-caster, SethBear is my name. Your main caster for today, sorry, is Larc, and we've been casting for quite a long time here today as it's our debut, especially for the Hearthstone, and we hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. We're going to bring about much more added coverage. In fact, tomorrow we'll be back again here for the losers bracket into the eventual grand finals. So guys, do stay tuned. Well met, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more Hearthstone action. See you guys!